Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tell Us More. This is the live experience. I'm your host, Mojak Lehoko. I've been trying to think what to do on the internet, and I decided I'm going to put together a show with some of my close friends. We start chatting about stuff that's been happening recently in the news and in the media, and it's going to be a relaxed, chill out vibe. Of course, I am broadcasting from where else than home, obviously. It's a lockdown. Where am I supposed to be? Some of us are calling it a lockdown. For other people, it's like apartheid because everyone knows that Mandela and Sisulu were just fighting to surf on Robben Island. It's been an interesting few weeks. Before we even go further, I just want to make it very clear that I think this is a weird time for everybody. It's a really strange time. Like, I feel like not enough people are saying how strange this really is to be stuck at home. And we've all been trying. I think in the beginning, we were incredibly excited to try out new things. Like, I thought I was going to read like Buddhist literature, a little bit of other religious text, but I've just ended up spending this time eating Romani creams and making flapjack. So, I had high ambitions. Things didn't quite work out, but we live and we learn. And we're just going to try and enjoy this period. But you know what? I'm not here alone. I've got a special guest joining me all the way from the Western Cape. It's going to be fun. He's going to be up in a bit. But first things first, rather, I saw a lot of people have been freaking out online about this first issue. That is the ban on cigarettes. The ban on cigarettes. Now, I want to let you know that I actually recently quit smoking. Well, I didn't quit. I ran out of guys about 22 days ago. But don't get too pedantic. I gave up. I gave up on cigarettes, and I just decided I'm not going to try. Because some of you have been buying illegal cigarettes that like even the branding looked dodgy, like it was made on Microsoft Paint. Oh, word! And a lot of people have been freaking out because they said they were gonna remove the ban, and then the minister came back and said we're putting it back in place, and now people are protesting. They are fighting for their right to these cancer sticks. So hopefully they figure this shit out, and you guys don't have meltdowns with your partners from all your cravings and all of that stuff. And talking about all of that, we want to talk about mental health. That's a big thing. Um, Everyone's at home, kind of alone, in isolation. So take this time to reach out to your friends, see how they're doing, chat to them, catch up on stuff you've always wanted to do. I know it's hard because you're feeling helpless, you're stuck at home. You're not alone. I think that's the point. You're not alone. We're all trying to figure this out. We don't know how long it's going to last. Try and make the most of it. But, without bringing the mood down too much, I'm sorry. I'm going to bring on my first guest, a lovely gentleman from the Western Cape. You're going to love him. Please welcome to the show the wonderful actor, director, comedian, Glen Biderman-Pam.
I wasn't ready. Yeah,
What are you wearing, Glenn?
I've got. I don't know. I found this hat recently, and I've got nowhere to wear it. So I've just been wearing it in my Skype meetings these days because it's the only place I can go out. Like they've opened shops for
Yes.
people to buy clothes, but there's nowhere to wear the clothes. So now I'm just trying. Every Skype meeting is just a dress up party for me, and this today is my. Over the past few days, actually, has been my thing. The problem is that I look a bit like a rabbi, being Jewish and
Yes, I
all.
was gonna say, like, I didn't want to, put you in a corner, but it does look very tricky, that hat.
I'm in that corner, the corner of the synagogue. That's where I am right now. Mojak, I love the bookshelf that you've got there. Just explain to us why, because I went and got this bookshelf just before lockdown because I saw that everyone else was putting bookshelves in their background.
That
What's the idea behind that?
that is the truth. These aren't actually books at all. This is a wallpaper. I think reading is for heathens. So basically, we bought this just before for a party. I think the theme was knowledge, not a real thing.
Right, funny.
And so then we just put it up. But I do have something that is real over here that just
Yeah.
happens to be chilling in
Oh
this region.
wow.
I don't know if you're
That is
familiar
a
with these.
serious. Yeah, that I am. I've used them in my bedroom many times. Yeah, it's painful, but at first, and then it does ease out later. No, I haven't got a Comics Choice Award yet, Mojak. I've been nominated 4 times,
Mm.
but never won once, which is It's difficult, you kind of have to sort of see yourself as a little bit of a Leonardo DiCaprio, except without the millions and millions
Wait,
and
tell us more. What do you mean? What do you mean you see yourself as a DiCaprio?
no, well, I said you should tell yourself you see yourself as a Leonardo
Oh,
DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio is a guy who, before the Revenant, Revenant,
those are two
uh,
different movies, bro.
before the Revenant, I
Very,
don't know which one
very
it was.
different plot.
Whichever one he was in. Before that, he
Okay,
hadn't
okay.
won an Oscar, and
Mm.
and he just was nominated and nominated, but everyone knew, he deserved it. And that's what I told myself when I used to get nominated and lose. And then I realized that I've never been in a movie that grosses higher than about 100,000 rand.
I mean, you've been
So
on Showmax though, so that's close.
I have, yeah. So most of Camps Bay have seen me, yeah.
But
You know what's quite, yeah.
yeah, what's weird is that I think I lost 4 in a row before I won an award.
Oh,
So I got used
wow.
to being happy for other people. Like after just being like, oh man, it's about just being here.
Yeah, and then you win, and no, it's all about winning.
Yeah. In
Do
your
you?
face. Suck on my.
That's
Okay,
it.
not that hectic, but
That's it.
it does feel like that. So
Where the
how's the
people?
lockdown been for you, bro?
Sorry, I shouldn't be asking the questions. You know
No, go
what,
ahead.
Mojak? It's been great. It's I don't know where we are in this conversation. There's such a lag that I genuinely have no idea what we're talking about. But I'm just going to go for what I've been doing because that's probably what you were asking me.
Yeah, but
Shameless plug. I don't know if I'm allowed to here or not,
oh
but
yes, please tell us more. Tell us more.
yeah, that's the name of the show. I host a comedy show for Jameson, not Jamison, Jameson. Yeah, called the
James.
Sunday Special. Jameson. Yeah. The Sunday Special with me, Glen Biderman-Pam, and each week I sit down with another comedian, very much in this capacity, Mojak, if not identical, just the other
Exactly.
way around.
That's what we're
I'm-
going for, actually.
Oh, is that so? Is that the reference?
No,
It's
not
to what
quite.
Glen's. Okay. Well, yeah, it's an excuse to get dressed up in a suit and talk to my buddies because it's nice to talk to your comedian friends. And we have our good friend Oliver Booth, former comedian, now writer and content creator. He creates a sketch every week that goes into the show. So there's the live show on the 3 p.m. and then the
Yep.
pre-recorded show, which also gets posted at the same time. So look out for that. This week I'm sitting down with Sculptor Sidenode, Forker and Sculptor Sidenode, and the brand has been very kind and very, well, I guess, supportive and want to extend the show. So after 4, there will be a few more. So I'd love to get
That's
you
wicked,
on that.
man.
Yeah, if you've got time, because I know it's very tough out there. What have you been, other than this, what have you been up to, man? Have you been performing?
I've been losing my mind. Every day
Have you?
I'm like, I play a little bit of FIFA and I realize how broken the AI is. And I want to drop kick my console and my TV and throw it out because it just makes errors that don't make any sense. Like
What
high
do you
stakes
mean by
game.
that?
Basically, a goalkeeper like David De Gea will punch a ball back into the net. Like that would never happen in the real world. And then you'll lose a game, and it's like, oh my word, I want to find whoever made this game and just destroy their life. So that happens between anywhere from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Can
Then
I
I go,
can
maybe,
I
yeah.
can I ask why is that the case? I'm sorry to harp on about this, but is that because so many people are playing at the same time, or is there just a problem with that game?
I think the mechanics are broken. I think a lot of the things are broken and it gets shipped like that. And then you just have to deal with it. Like as you're in the game, you just have to play it like it is.
I think maybe it's because you've got a bootleg copy.
No, I would never do so. I haven't. Remember there was an era where people used to like rewrite CDs.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
I know we're veering off, but what kind of stuff did you have on your like rewritable CDs? Because that was the compilation era.
Are you asking me what kind of stuff I used to store on my personal CDs?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking.
Mojak, I don't know what the age restriction for the show is, but it's certainly not appropriate for the internet, is what I'm saying. Yeah,
Bro,
but remember,
everything's
you used to
appropriate
have,
on the internet.
well, exactly, that's true. Yeah, I used to have, well, I mean, Winamp. Remember Winamp? Who remembers that?
Ooh, with
Winamp.
the llama.
Yeah. I used to rip songs onto there, and then you take that. They used to have a little sort of studio basically within that. You rip it into the CD, and you make a little love track. God, it was
Yep.
great. Right, with permanent marker. Millennials don't know these things. You know what I think, Mojak, about this
Yep.
whole situation is that I think that instead of it targeting old people, I
Yeah.
think they should have probably targeted millennials. That's what I
Tell
think.
us more. What do you
Because
mean?
old people are going anyway, so that's fine. And obviously, protecting children, we want to do that. But
Sure.
there's a generation out there, and my God, I
This is
don't know if
taking
I
a very
sound.
dark turn, but carry on.
Oh shit! Sorry, maybe you know what it is. Maybe it's just that I feel a little old, especially wearing this hat. Do you find yourself in Zoom sessions just looking at yourself most of the time?
Yeah, or not knowing exactly what to press to mute something. So there's a lot of like this happening now, of like which button is
Yes.
for access to,
Yeah.
which I never thought of myself as that kind of a person until the
Yeah.
last 4 or 5 weeks.
No, I mean absolutely. Yeah, it's because we've never had to do that. Our job is arrive and then grab a microphone and then talk
Mm.
shit and then leave. That's what our job is. Now we're required to get like even this was. It feels like I'm a monkey on a spaceship trying to
Mm.
land the spaceship, and people are telling me how to land it, but I've never heard or been on a spaceship before, and I don't know why I'm here in the first place. And that's how I feel on all of these things. And there's
Yeah,
pressure on it as well. They're like, "Why aren't you landing it well?" Because this is not what I do. I don't sit in a spaceship and fucking land it. So
how are you
yeah,
finding this kind of live experience? Like this talking into camera, this feels weird for me. I don't know about you, but this is super surreal for me.
yeah. Well, I was saying it the other day in a newspaper interview that the real thing, on a serious note, that I
Yeah.
struggle with these things with, especially with my Jameson show, is that there's that slight delay, and with
Yes.
comedy, it's so intrinsically dependent on rhythm and timing
Yeah.
that, like, if you and I have a banter, and there's a slight delay of a talk over each other or a wait it ruins the entire joke.
The gag is
Uh,
dead.
it's really, I mean, it's hard to get it live. It's hard to get that gag and that repartee and that banter and that rhythm generally. And when you have this
Repartee.
slight thing,
Wait, but you just say that word like everyone uses it in casual conversation. What is repartee, Glenn?
I'll tell you what it means right now. I'll tell you right
we can
now.
we can hear you typing.
No. Conversation or speech. I was right. Don't bloody doubt me. Conversation or speech characterized by quick, witty comments or replies. I mean, that, Mojak. I mean, shit.
On the
I
mark.
tell you what.
On the
tell you
mark,
what.
my friend.
So it's tough to have that repartee in a live chat. But what I want to know is anyone? I know Skulk is doing some live stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, you didn't ask me to advertise this at all. So
No, I didn't.
You just have a massive audience that is anyone even listening? How do we know if anyone's listening? This could
We
just
don't.
be
It's
me and you
basically you, me, and 3 other people. Me, you, and Wade are watching this.
Okay, well, I'm happy with that. Even if it was just you and me, I'd be happy. It's nice to catch up with you.
It's for posterity. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I don't know what that means either. So how do you do the live thing? Because I know my friend Alan Committee, he's planning a live show where there's this webinar platform that comedians like Skulk, I think Rob van Vuren has used it, but basically it's quite expensive. But you can it's a live show, but I don't think you can actually interact with audience members or anything. You're just basically talking into a camera for 60 minutes. Would you do that?
I mean, that feels really weird because, like, even as we're speaking, like right now, I can see comments. Tsireletso Pasha just said some stuff. Sam, Lucille, but I think stand up without that back and forth with the audience just doesn't feel the same way. What is interesting though, when we used to shoot LNN, there was no live audience, so you're doing comedy to a camera and then
Mm,
praying that it's working somewhere, which
mm,
I don't have that much faith in the people. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So
mm.
I've seen people do it. I don't know if I would peg it as like a live stand up show or it'd just be like this, just talking a whole bunch of nonsense and seeing what happens.
Well, I heard your monologue at the top of the show, and it didn't seem too out of sort of. You didn't seem uncomfortable, or it seemed very much like you could have just been on stage. There didn't seem any differences of like self-consciousness or waiting for a laugh that might not be there, and you just sort of chatted. I think it's something that we'll maybe just get used to. You know, it's something that we'll just start to do because at the top of my show, I also do a little bit of a
Yeah.
thing. And I guess it's basically like, you know, just like talking, just without the fun.
I mean, I think maybe with time we'll just accept that it is what it is, and but it's still such a weird thing for me to kind of wrap my head around, to talk into, because like this works because you and I are here, right? So there's an actual
Mm.
interaction between the two of us. But imagine we were just saying things, and then you were praying on the other end that someone was like having a wicked time, and you have no idea. You literally have no idea.
I don't know what's worse, not having the laugh or not knowing that the laugh is there. You know, not knowing that it's not there is also terrible. You know, you think
Yes,
it's going to be great. At least when you're on stage and people don't laugh, you're like, okay, that was bad. But you throwing out a joke and people aren't laughing, and then you going on as if you're doing well, and they're like, oh, he has no idea.
he is
He
bombing
has
so
no
hard
idea.
as we speak.
He's bombing so hard and he doesn't even know it. That takes us back all the way to, you know, to the
I
beginning
had
of
a
our career.
horrible I had a horrible dream the other day. I have to tell you about this. In my dream I got heckled. It was so dark, like by a person in the show, in a comedy show, who eventually was like, "Stop making fun of people. This isn't funny." And what really upset me about this dream is that I woke up before I could fix the room, like before I could get everyone back, and it's been haunting me
Wow,
for 3 days.
wow. I wonder what that means. I wonder if there's a deeper level of understanding to that dream. I wonder if it's like whether you can fix comedy or not, whether comedy will ever survive the pandemic. You know, because it is something that we need to acknowledge. How are the venues going to, you know, to get back up and running? How do we expect the guys like, you know, to be able to just pick up where they left off and take the
Mm,
hit? So it's not just about people, whether people can gather in crowds or not. It's whether the gigs will be able still to run or not. You know, yes, there's
in
your
the same
kitchen.
way.
Yeah, exactly. What about the other club gigs and that? You know, is Kitchener still going, by the way,
It is, but
through
you
the
know, Kitchener is
pandemic?
always 30 people, which falls under the limit of how many people may assemble. So we've always
That
been we've
you
always
guys
been
have been
fine
going
in
this
that
whole
regard.
time, right? Exactly. People been
But yeah, I
pumping it
think
out.
that is a big thing that we're all gonna have to figure out. Like, what is what? Because we're level one, right? I think that's the thing that really freaked me out was that we're level one, which means we're the last ones who are gonna be allowed back into the real world. Everyone else can come back. Then it's like level one, please, 10 people at a show at a time, go have
Yeah,
fun. Which is what I'm freaking out about.
yeah. How long do the levels stay in place for? That's what I want to know. How long is level? They told us level 5. Okay, there's like 3 weeks and then an extension. Then they just went level 4, and we're like, okay, and for how long? Well, we don't know. But after that, there's still level 3. We don't know about that either, or 2, and then we don't even know if we'll get to 1 in our lifetime.
Yeah, I think I'm almost thinking too far ahead. Like I shouldn't even get there. Like let's try get through this first, and then
Yeah.
we can start thinking about the other levels.
Well, my question is also, you know, when are people going to start becoming fed up? Is that happening? Is that a thing? I mean, is that just a Cape Town thing?
I
Is
think that's
that
happening already. You know, you saw it happen in Cape Town. As a Cape Townian, what did you think of that? People kind of walking on the promenade and having a good time.
no? Well, I mean, that was just, I think, people going out for the first time. I don't think that was in any way like a protest. I know
Sure.
it's hard to tell with white people when they're protesting or not. 'Cause it's the same. They just
You got the
walk.
same energy.
Yeah, it's no different. So I see there's surfers who are also protesting very peacefully. No one even notices that they're protesting. They just put their board up against the promenade wall and hope that people see them, because that's how they're protesting, by being let. They want to be let back into the water. What do you think of that?
That's not a real protest. It looks like they're just taking a break. It's like they're just relaxing and then decided to write like really upset slogans. It doesn't feel like a legitimate thing. And also, it's like, hey man, there's water everywhere. Relax. Like, just, we'd all
Yeah,
love to be doing outdoor stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is definitely feeling. Listen, I think there was an uproar from just with regard to the actual time,
Yeah.
because I'm sure that was happening everywhere. I think that's confusing. Justifying that is hard, even without a cynical comedic attitude.
Sure.
So that's been tough. But yeah, I think the other thing is that I don't know what the rules there. Everyone, there's so many rumors. Like now, you can only walk on tarred roads that only are like tar underneath the gravel, but not in like a mountain. Like if you can have a gravel road, but you can't have like a
Where are you
mountain path.
hearing this? Where are you? I feel like you're making your own legislation in your head as you go along.
Well, there's like there's a whole dog walkers thing, and everyone's going,
Yeah.
where can we walk the dogs? And so now apparently Table Mountain is banned, but not Lion's Head. Now, I mean, I don't know where they join and where one stops and the other stops. There's like, where's the boundary? And then on top of that, like I don't know what this whole gravel road, tar road situation is. It's really quite anxiety provoking. And I don't know, you see these horrific videos of people being arrested. Everyone's got a story about someone being arrested. No, I heard someone was arrested
But
for like not
some of the
having a
arrests are
mask.
so weird, dude. Some of the arrests are really like the one person was just like, I'm going to Spa. And they were like, which one? The guy was like, I'm not disclosing that. Then it was like, dog,
Yeah,
just tell us which spa you are going to. That's all we want to know. Then the
yeah.
person refused to give the police any information, and then they locked him up. So that ended terribly for him.
Well, I mean, why would you not just tell the person what? Make it up. I mean, just make it up.
I don't know. He was trying to be like rebellious, and he's like, "I'm going to press charges for unlawful arrest." Then the police officer was like, "Come, you can do all of that from the police station. Come with
Oh
us."
my goodness. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that there's becoming there's this slight shift of distrust now
Yep.
that's starting to happen, and that's quite sort of scary when it starts to turn slightly.
Mm.
But I know nothing. All I know is how to make jokes, which is fantastic. I mean, that's the one positive. If anything, there's a silver lining in this thing, that it gives us a huge amounts of material to work with. Not to obviously make fun of the people who are sick and suffering, but to make
Sure.
fun of, I guess, the like really confusing laws that are being made up as they go. Because the truth of the matter is, no one, can I swear here?
Go do whatever you want.
No one fucking knows what's going on. Like no one does. Like not even Fauci. The head of scientific health
The
research
U.S.
in
guy.
yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't even know. So like, where no one knows, because there's no vaccine, there's no cure, so no one really knows what is going on. So I guess another thing is maybe just to just let everyone go back, except people over the age of 65,
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Well, Sweden did that. They didn't go into lockdown, and they're having a bit of an interesting kind of set of results. Everything's kind of stacking up now. I think they're the case study on what happens when you don't lock down.
I think just like if doing anything in Sweden just is fine. You know what? Like they can just do even like a Swedish murder is kind of like, it's done. It's
Funnish murder.
It's clean. It's very clinical. It's actually it was planned. People can applaud that kind of thing. It's
It's polite.
anything.
Polite murder.
Yeah. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Swedish people, no lockdown. It's okay. They've got so much money. They'll just make vaccines, make hospitals. bring people back to life if they have to from the dead. They know how to do that kind of thing in Sweden. I don't know. I mean, we're just
Well,
stuck
we'll
here.
see. There'll be the test case for that. I mean, when all this is over, what are you hoping to do? What's the first thing you'd like to do after all of this is over?
That's a very good question.
What's the first thing you do? Let's put it that way. What's the first thing? I was talking to Nicholas Goliath. He said he just misses having like a cold beer, like sitting around with people and having a cold draft.
Yeah, can I take that? Or is that taken?
I mean, that's taken. We need some creativity on your end. I mean, I can't just say something and then you repeat it.
I think there's a lot of really nice stuff on Netflix that probably gets. Yeah.
You're only going to watch Netflix after the lockdown. What are you talking about?
I'm joking. As a joke. As a joke, I was seeing if you were concentrating, which you weren't.
You're doing this all wrong, my friend. You're like, time to catch up.
Now I'm going to watch a Michael Jackson docu. Yeah.
Yes.
Mojak, I'm just really looking forward to getting on stage, dude. Like I do miss it. People can understand that that's a happy place right there. And it's also nice for money. Money is always nice. You never see an unhappy person on a jet ski. They're always happy. They're never crying on a jet ski.
You'd be surprised,
money
bro.
Would be great. No, they cry after, not on.
Okay.
Yeah,
when
they're on, that's when they're really having the fun. After or before, I'm not interested in. When they know they've got the money, then they don't cry. So I was wondering maybe if you wanted to get married.
You want to get married?
No, I just found.
Are you practicing? Is that what you're doing first? Wait, let's see that one more time, Glenn. What was happening there? Why did you have a random no?
What
does it say?
It's Black Betty. I don't know what that is.
Do you watch The Bachelor?
No.
Okay.
Shout out to Black Betty.
Shout out Black Betty. We're gonna edit that out. No. Do you on The Bachelor? One of the sponsors is Jack Friedman Jeweler, and it's always like this jewelry made for like old ladies over 65 that the Bachelor gives to all these young women. It's like really terrible. It's all floral. It makes no sense.
So is it an endorsement?
I think so. I think they've paid. You know when there's a weird product placement, there's like a little box in the corner in an episode. You're like, that has no place in this house.
Oh God! I mean, I don't know. It's not a bad idea. If I was the producer of The Bachelor and someone said, why don't we bring a jeweler on board and he gives them nice gifts? It just still feels forced. I'm not into. Even as a Jewish person who is, I'm all for as much gold as possible. That still does feel. I mean, I've got jewelry boxes lying around. That's how Jewish I am.
You're living your best life, my friend.
I am living my best life, but I really do. I miss my friends. I miss my comedian friends. I miss hanging out backstage, being nervous. That nervous feeling, there's nothing like it. Just anticipating going on stage, man. Sure, that's hard to describe. It's hard to really to. No one else has that feeling, and that's something that's so special. So you grow to miss it quite a lot. And
what I'm missing, bro. I am missing watching comedians bomb on stage. That is one of my favorite things. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, especially someone who's sort of up and coming, and then they think they're doing well, and they're cocky, and then they go up and then they die, and you go, no, you're nowhere near where you think you are, Bongani. I'm joking.
Oh, wow. Shots fired.
I'm a big fan of Bongani Dube. He's one of my favorite comics out there. Really, really, I am. I love him to death, and I would only use his name in jest.
I just realized that I haven't seen or heard from Bongani in eons now.
I thought he passed away.
Jesus Christ. Rest
I
in
thought
peace,
he got the
dudes.
virus.
No,
you can't joke about those things. Okay, sorry. That was too soon. Someone's messaging me in here, Mojak. Is that you?
Yeah, there's live comments. Can you read them? Can you see what the people are saying? Cyril Pasha says clean stuff.
Conrad Koch. Is it Koch?
He says the production level is great. You know what's weird about that compliment is that he's not saying the content is great. He's just saying like, this looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's a huge... what they call that is a backhanded compliment.
Mm.
somewhat of a is it a euphemism? I can't
I'm not
remember.
sure. Let's go with it. Let's go with euphemism.
Okay. Okay. Well, is there anything else you need from me?
No, but what we do want to do is maybe get the people to ask us a question if they do have any questions before we head out of here, and basically ask you what you've got going on. I know you've got the Jameson show. If you want to plug that one more time, tell the people one more again exactly what that's all about.
Yeah, man. As I say, every Sunday it's live at 3 p.m. on from the Jameson SA page. Every time it's a different comedian. I've had Tumi Moraki, Trevor. Which Trevor was it? One of the Trevors. Gumbi.
One of the Trevors,
Um,
Gumbi.
yeah, I've had Eugene Kozda this week. Scott saying note. Hopefully in the future we've got Mojak Lehoko.
Whoop whoop.
And then yeah, look out for my Instagram page. I'm always up there doing a lot of content. Luckily, brands have asked me to do a lot of stuff, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So I've done some stuff for certain brands who are not paying me anymore to talk about it, so I won't. But there's some funny videos out there on my Instagram at Glen Biderman-Pam. I'm trying TikTok, but
Ooh,
I think
TikTok is the worst, dog. Oh, TikTok is the worst.
I'm not sure, Mojak. I don't know if I can do it, dude. I certainly can't scroll on it. I can't watch it. That's something I know that I can't do that. I can post. I can post on it, and I don't mind putting my stuff out there. But it feels like I'm eating that fast food when I'm watching it. But like really like fast food in like a small town that from a fast food joint that you've never heard of.
Like a
And
bimbos.
That's it. It feels
There we
exactly
go.
like Bimbos, dude. Yeah. So I'm not a big scroller, but I am out there. So follow me on that. Whoever's out there, Conrad Koch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. And then what else, Mojak? Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, mostly just out here making it happen.
Nice
Yeah.
one, bro. We do have a question from Miladen Cholic. She says, "Where did you steal Pharrell's hat from, Glenn? Where did you steal the hat from?"
This is actually my dad's hat, if I'm honest. I've been spending a bit of time out here at his house. This is not where I am, and I don't know where he
Yep.
managed to steal it from, but I actually stole it from him, and I think it suits me just fine. In fact, I'll tell you what the story is behind this hat is I actually got it for him for his birthday. So technically, I paid for this hat, and I might just commandeer it back. I am Jewish,
It
as
was
I
yours all
mentioned.
along.
So yeah, it was mine all along. What do you think? What is her name? Melania. That's a very first lady
It's
name.
Miladen Cholic, an old friend of mine actually. I went to high school with Madine.
Oh, oh, lovely. We'll send her my love and thanks for being lekker. And yeah, it's a good hat, and I haven't I've worn it I think once before on another live chat, but this is feeling good.
There's a vibe. We got one more question for you, Glenn. To me, Stop Nonsense asks, "Is there anything you change about South African comedy?" That's a deep one.
Now or
Well, I
before
don't know.
or
Well, there is no comedy now, so I'm assuming this is in the future or retroactively because right now there's nothing to change.
yeah, very good question. Who is that? To me, no nonsense. To me, stop
Stop
nonsense.
Nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, Tumza, my doggy dogs. Good question. Yeah, shout out. Um, I think newcomers need to be more patient with how they approach this craft, because you see too many people trying to develop themselves too quickly, and
Yeah.
it makes them look bad, and it makes us look bad as well. So I'm obviously all for new people coming to comedy. I mean, that's amazing. We need to develop the industry, but people need to understand that this thing takes time, man. It's like
Yeah.
anything. If you were an accountant, if you were an economist, if you were a fine artist, it takes time to get there. So audiences, you guys also need to be patient with those comics, and sometimes we're in
Sure.
that boat. But anyone who wants to start comedy, just know that it's a long road, man. I mean, I watched Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld last night. He dropped his special, and he's been at it for what, like 40 years, or 30, 35 years,
Somewhere
and
there.
that's
Yeah.
and
Really long time.
he's
Yeah.
still he's still getting to it. So if anyone out there, any newcomers, I would change by just sticking to it, developing a great 5 minutes, and then going forward from that.
There we have it, folks. Wonderful advice from our special guest, the wonderful Glen Biderman-Pam. Glen, thank you so much for joining us, bro. We wish you all the best. Enjoy the Sunday show with Skulk this week, and we'll tune in and check you out on all your social media.
Thanks, Mojak. Good chatting.
Thank you. Love you, bro. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
I would like to thank everybody who's tuned into this episode of Tell Us More, the live experience. This has been brought to you by Bitmap Digital. Of course, myself, Mojak, Lehoko, holding it down. Thank you guys so much for all your questions, your interaction. That's what the show's about. We want to get questions from you. We want to know exactly what's happening. To those of you who want to know when the next episode is, Paledi in particular, and to everybody watching, we'll be doing this every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Tell a friend. Make sure you have questions ready. We'll let you know who the guests are as we keep going. But thank you guys again for tuning in. This should be available on YouTube and Facebook, so you can share it. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.